Do you have a strategy? Good morning and welcome to In the Car with Clint. This week I am doing an Australian Institute of Company Directors course. I don't even know what the course is called. Don't sweat the details. But I want to talk to you about strategy today. So we've had 3 days of learning and there's a lot of learning in there. It's probably going to give me a bit of content to talk to you guys about here. I'll grab a 5-day course and try and turn it into 5 4-minute videos for you. But today I want to talk about strategy, and the course is what we did was strategy and risk, which is interesting because a lot of people hear the word risk and they're like, oh gosh, here we go, we're going to have to talk to OH&S people, or this is shit, this is going to be restrictive. But we talked a lot around managing risks and being conscious of risks, and in doing so making you able to take advantage of strategic operational opportunities when they come up. So this is a good one for me, and hopefully there's a few of you that watch this and listen to this that it might benefit. When you have an entrepreneurial mindset like I do, you can be caught up chasing shiny objects, and you can be caught up in starting a new business before the one you've got is, has come to maturity or even adolescence. And all of a sudden you've got, in my case, 3 businesses that are all not at maturity and that are all deserving my attention, and then are all, I guess, not getting my fullest, and then potentially not, or definitely not growing to their fullest. So if you have a strategy, like a written plan that you've sat down and thought about away from the business, when there's no pressures of phone calls and whatever else, and you've involved potentially some senior management or a board and some executives if you're at that level, that strategy is going to be a map, and not a rule map, but a guidance map that will help you to evaluate decisions when they come up. So an example would have been, WaterPro, part of the strategy, and it's not a written strategy, and I don't have this, so I'm kind of like, this is as much for me as it is for you. But part of our strategy is to grow to a 40 location national irrigation company, privately owned, across Australia, to service the entire country of trade and retail in high quality service, high quality brands at competitive prices to the retail and the trade. That's roughly what it is. Now, based on that, railways came up as an opportunity. I do this stuff in my head. I don't do it off of a piece of paper. I've gone, yep, makes sense. Railways have, an existing location, existing staff, got an existing irrigation presence, but not one that's got the WaterPro filter on it, which can improve it. Let's have a look at the opportunity. Whereas if someone came to me and I had that strategic plan about growing all these locations, and they said, hey, Krispy Kreme haven't got a distribution agent here in Adelaide, you want to look at it and go into a partnership and whatever else. By steering away from the strategic plan for that company, you've got this really high risk that you're going to take your eye off the prize with the thing that makes you the money, the thing that's got you to where you are, and you're going to start concentrating on something you know nothing about, and you're going to have to learn new things. So potentially you're going to have 2 businesses struggling. Now, in support of the Krispy Kreme, if your strategic plan has something around irrigation potentially becoming illegal in Australia, or one of the risks that you've identified is that a lot of the products that you make irrigation from are going to become hard to get, or you're going to have to be specifically licensed and it's cost prohibitive to sell it, or whatever it might be, part of your strategic plan might be to divest the irrigation component of your company and move into food services, because you understand that food is always going to have a place, and even during a lockdown or a COVID-19 situation, you're always going to be able to access, you're always going to be able to deliver food. We've seen that those businesses, the Ubers of the world, the Uber Eats of the world, have continued to be able to do stuff. So I guess don't get caught up in the I guess, I keep saying I guess, don't get caught up in being too worried about it being perfect. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Just have something written down so that you've got a map. And this is why businesses have policies and procedures and strategic plans and rules and frameworks, a new word for me this week, because when things are exciting, or when things are stressful, or when you've got high pressure decisions to make, you can refer back to the rules that you set for yourself and your company when times were good and calm, and you were calm and relaxed and rested. So that's it. I encourage you to have a look at your strategic plan, whether or not it's written or not. I encourage you to write it down. I encourage you to involve your team so that they're across it. You might not know about threats that they do. You might not know about opportunities that they do. You also might not be thinking with their hat on. You might be thinking only with your hat on. An example might be that your team are very concerned about your risk appetite as a director because you don't seem to care if the business goes broke because you know that you're always going to be fine. They might be concerned. So they might have different levels of risk appetite, and therefore having them involved and engaged in the discussion will help you create a strategic plan that's more in line with everyone's interests, and then everyone's interests will be more in line with yours. That is it. Thanks for tuning into In the Car with Clint. Sorry, D'Artagnan, I know that one was a bit long and you've probably fallen asleep, or you won't even be hearing this bit anyway. I think you probably just fast forward to the end, if I'm honest. Everyone, obviously, continue to be kind to each other. The world needs more kindness. If you're enjoying the content, please don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel. Share the video with someone that you might think needs a bit of this strategic talk. And I'll see you tomorrow.